Hello, and welcome to a first look, or first impressions, whatever I'm calling this series, at Dune Spice Wars. Uh, this game is a 4X set in the Dune universe. If you know me, if you've been watching for a while, you know what I'm gonna say. I've historically been not a fan of 4X games, however, I am ready to change, basically. I think that for me personally, the thing that has brought me into this game, whereas I've never played like Civ or Stellaris, is I like the Dune universe. I'm not like a super fan of Dune. I've only read the first book and I'm not planning on reading anymore. But I think the universe is fine. I think it's cool. And so I figured I'd check this game out. Well, here we are. First and foremost, I will tell you, you'll see it everywhere. This game is early access. It is very early access. It released on the 26th and I did a little bit of research into it, so we'll do the talking portion first here. Uh, let me pull it up. So first thing I want to say, actually, the very first thing I want to tell you is that this is a 4X game, like Civ, like Stellaris, games of that nature. In early access right now, there is not multiplayer. It is a planned feature that they're going to add into the early access eventually. However, they have not put it in yet. So if you want to pick this game up and play it with your friends, just know that you cannot do that right now, and if that is what you want, you will probably want to hold off until multiplayer gets added in. I played about 20-ish minutes, 30-ish minutes of a run to try and grasp what's going on in the game, basically, so I can explain it to you. This is going to be probably the least informed I am of any of the games that we have done, because this is not really a game that you will pick up in 20 minutes. This is something that has a very big barrier to entry. Be aware of that as well if you've never played a game in the genre before, but you are interested in Dune. I think that it's not that crazy, though, of a barrier to entry. Like, I felt like I was starting to get it after 20 or 30 minutes, so, you know. So this game is currently $30 on Steam, and it was made by the developer is Shiro Games, who I believe did make something else that I had heard of. They made a few games. The one that I was really surprised about seeing is this is the people who made this game made the games Evoland and Evoland 2, which I remember playing back in the early 2010s. I was surprised to see them make this, and they also made a game called Northgard, which I believe is a like city builder type game in the Viking type setting. They made a few other games that I hadn't heard of, but those are the ones that I think are noteworthy. I feel like a lot of the games that I've covered lately have been by people who have not made games that I have heard of before, so I thought that was noteworthy. Let me go through the options real quick. They have a pretty reasonable options menu. I'm actually going to hop right down to the audio real quick and turn the game down, because I feel like, one, I've had a few people tell me in recent videos that I'm a little too quiet compared to the game, so I'm going to try to err on the side of making the games too quiet rather than too loud. So let's go through it real quick. We got general, you got quite a few languages, and it's a drop-down menu. English, German, French, Russian. I don't know. I think that's Chinese, but it might be Japanese. I'm not sure. It's definitely not Korean. Portuguese, Polish, Spanish, and Italian, it looks like. You can reset the tutorials at any time. There's a little intro video that plays at the start of the game when you launch it. Cool that you can turn this off, Monster Train. You can set it to autosave in-game, I assume. Probably not in real life every 30 days. That would be a weird option. Although, initially I read this and thought it said it was going to autosave your progress every 30 days of real life time, and I went, that doesn't sound very useful. Graphic stuff, I should warn you as well, this game is pretty intense, I feel. Let me pull up my resource monitor. I have one that I keep track of. Yeah, this game it's not like a crazy amount, but it is pretty hefty on the requirements compared to some of the other stuff I've covered recently. I'm actually gonna kill Firefox real quick while we play this, just in case it hurts my setup. But you got resolution options, you got all the stuff. You can change displays, go to borderless windowed. I never do this. I would normally play this in borderless windowed, but I'm worried if I do this, it's gonna mess up my recording. So I will just leave it like this. Rebindable control, or not rebindable controls actually, but like in-game controls. There's not really a whole lot you can rebind. Scroll speed, border scroll, zoom sensitivity, display decimals? I don't know why you would want this, but sure. Display control groups, there's control groups? Oh shit. And then, here's your keybinds that you can rebind. That's cool. You'll get a feel for what all of this does, but just know that it's here. It's good to know. So this is just going to be a lot of talking. I'm going to start a new game. There are 4 factions you can choose from: Atreides, Harkonnens, Smugglers, and Fremen. I am going to be playing as Atreides for this because, in my humble view, typically whichever character set is like, this is the main character, is usually the easiest, and I feel like learning the game as one of the easier sets of characters. Sets is probably the wrong word, but like factions, I guess. Because when I think about Dune, Atreides would be in my mind the main character, Harkonnen the antagonist, and so on and so forth, right? These are like side factions, not really playing. It's not like a linear story in that way, but I feel like Atreides is probably the easiest, but I don't know that. It could be one of the others is the easiest, but I truly I do not know the mechanics. So when you start the game, you get... So also, I should go back, actually. Each of these has a set of unique faction bonuses related to who they are, I guess. Like, the Fremen have less cost of supply on their units, which is basically they can spend more time in the desert, which is, you know, of course, because they're from here. The Smugglers have more access, or like more ability to set up bases, I guess, or like I haven't really learned what this is, but like they can set up bases in other villages, but both of these have less access to the Landsraad, which is how you enact like policy on the game, basically. So there's a trade-off, and each of them have a trade-off. Like, you can't pillage neutral villages as Atreides because you're cool and nice and happy. But and Harkonnen can do that, but then they get less resources from their villages, things like that. But we're gonna play Atreides. When you start out the game as well, you get 2 counselors to pick from. I'm not really sure what they do, so I don't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense for me to tell you about them. Because yeah, I really just don't know. So I'm just gonna pick the 2. They have little easy, medium, hard difficulties, and I'm going to pick 2 of the easy ones. It costs less to annex a village, and you have higher relations with Sieches, I believe is how you say it. Siech, whatever. And then Gurney Halleck here, who unlocks the veteran militia unit. Military units start with +1 experience. You also have customizable difficulty. You can make the map smaller or larger, increase or decrease the rate of which sandworms appear, increase or decrease the rate at which storms appear, and increase or decrease the rate at which the Sieches are hostile. You can also change the difficulties, so, or not difficulties, sorry, the victory conditions. You cannot turn off domination. I imagine domination is just take over the whole map, wipe the other factions out. Hegemony, which is a resource I think you generate. I haven't really gotten that far. And then political, again, not really sure how you win the game, and we will not be learning that in this video. You can also disable or enable assassinations, and you can turn off the AI. So if you want, you can get rid of, like, you can make it just a 1v1 between you and one of the other AIs, or so on and so forth. I'm actually going to play this on easy, because I am not good at 4X games. I have not played many of them, and I don't want to just get smoked here. Also, you can join their Discord. There's a link in the bottom right of the screen when you grab the game, and you can report bugs and talk about the game with people in there, I imagine. So as we load in here, right out the gate, it's a lot. So the game just drops you right in. There's a whole lot here, and there is not great tutorialization. You have this little getting started, which kind of acts as a soft guide through the game, and sort of acts as a way for the game to be like, hey, here's what you should do next, here's what you should do next. But I'm going to go through everything that you're looking at in the AI, in the UI here as best as I understand it. And again, if I miss anything, I apologize, but I think that you will get a good enough feel for how this game is and how it works from this video, even if I miss a few mechanics here and there, or I'm not sure of things. So right out the gate, our goal is to set up spice harvesting. That's your first goal. We have to find a village in the area with a spice field. So what are you looking at here? Well, first of all, there's two ways to look at the game. You can look at it in this like tactical view, and you can see it's kind of hard to see, but there's a border here where there's like a striped line versus a cloud. That's the edge of the map. So this is our whole map. It is reasonably large, I would say. In the top right, we have the other factions. These are the 3 that we did not play as, and we can call them up and try to set up trades if we so desire. I will not be doing this right now. There are operations, which I have not done yet. This is stuff that we'll learn as we go. Developments, which I think is basically research, which we haven't unlocked and we won't unlock until we get a village captured. The council, the next council meeting is in 20 days, which we use resources that we generate in terms of votes and influence on the map to vote and change like policy, make sweeping changes. I'll try to get through at least one of these. And then espionage, which we can do. I have not seen this but at all, but we gain agents and we can mess with the other factions, I assume. And we have our units tab here. So the ornithopter, which is this guy. So what we start with here is we start with this our main city, and we start with an ornithopter. The ornithopter just kind of flies around and scouts. This is our scouting unit. Also, where am I on the map? I am kind of in the middle here. Not great. We want to go south. Because our first goal is to find a spice field, and it's actually marked on the map over here. And so what we'll want to do is we'll want to scout out a spice field and a village. I'm going to let this play. This game does have pause. I'm going to let it play, and I'm going to go through the rest of the map. So at the top left here, we can change the amount of spice that we're sending to Chome, and the rates at which they buy the spice for changes as well. So right now, for every 1 spice we generate, they will give us 2 money. It's called Solari here. And then at the top as well, the edge scroll is killing me. At the top as well, we have the amount of Solari we have, which is just the basic currency. We have the amount of Plascrete, which is what we use to build stuff with. We have the amount of manpower, which is our human resource, and then fuel cell, which is just power. And then we have water, which you need to construct new villages or like take new villages. And if you're in negative water, they'll start to revolt. And then authority, which is our leadership, and we use it to take control of the villages. Oh, and also apparently here we have our standing with the Landsrod. Alright, we've discovered our first. I should have done this first, but I'm just going through a lot here. I want to set our spice to just all be stockpiled. Or standing with the Landsrod. I haven't really messed with this too much because I didn't get that far. I'm actually, if you don't mind real quick, I'm going to go into the options. Good thing to check. You can also save and load games, so if you're halfway through a game and you have to go, because these are probably going to be long, you can do so. The audio sounds a little quiet. I don't know if there's any music playing, so I'm just going to turn it up a touch. I know I turned it down, but I'm going to turn it up. I want to turn off the border scroll while I'm doing this. I'll just leave it off for now. But you can also scroll around with WASD. So what else do I want to show you here? Hegemony, I don't really know what this is right now. It looks like this is just... I can actually read. Hegemony is a reflection of a faction's overall power over Dune. Some thresholds will unlock new abilities and ultimately allow you to win the game. So I bet if you cap this out is one of the ways you win. We can look at our faction progress. So this is like your panel to see how everyone's doing in terms of winning. I see. So the Fremen have more hegemony than us. Right here is our spice. So we have none right now, and that's what we're working towards. And then every 25 days, we have to pay an 80 spice imperial tax. And that's roughly everything that you need to know from the UI standpoint. I know it's a lot, but this game, it has a tutorial, but the tutorial's a little shaky right now because it's early access. So I wanted to just go through it all real quick. Also, there's not going to be a tutorial that plays right now because I am playing after seeing the tutorials. So we're gonna make some military units. We're gonna go take this village. We're gonna create a spice harvesting thing, and we're gonna get started. When the ornithopter here goes into a new area, it will scout like this little area. You can see the territories are outlined. So this little 2 section here is one. If I scroll out, it's like one area on the map. And if I take this village, I will gain control of this area. And when we find these unknown spaces, we can send our ornithopter to scout it. I actually kind of want to build another ornithopter. I feel like that makes a lot of sense to just scout more of the map faster. Another village. Let's see if there's anything attached to this little area here. And then we'll go annex this village and so on and so forth. So one of the reasons I wanted to cover this game, one, I think it's kind of cool and I'm having a little bit of fun with it. I'm probably going to spend some of my day-to-day playing it. And 2, I floated the idea when this game has multiplayer to Dust, Cranberry, and Gabriel, and I know for sure on this, but I floated the idea of doing a multiplayer game of this with them, if they're interested. So I created 2 military units. I created a trooper, which is a melee unit, and a ranger, which is a ranged unit, and we're gonna go fight these guys. When you walk up to the village, the local goons will come out. However, they're so close to our main base that they're actually gonna take damage from our main base, which is cool. Looks like there's no friendly fire on explosions. The other thing is if you just send your ornithopter to an area and like ignore it, it will start to explore nearby areas as you go. Sandworms. What the heck, man? So I believe, I'm not sure 100% how it works, but I think it's like if you stay still for too long, the sandworm detected pops up, and it's like, hey, we're gonna take control of this village. That'll take a little bit of time. But you saw it there. There was a little exclamation mark above one of my units. I think if it's just if you don't move them, then they will die.
At your service, sir.
The other thing on your units, they have health. They have power, which is how much damage they do with each attack. They have armor to reduce damage from each attack, and then they have this supply number. So you saw this deep desert area here. It triples the supply drain. Uh, it's basically just if they're out and not in a controlled territory, they lose supply, and if they run out of supply, they die. I will actually show this off next time I go out. But when we capture a village, we can train some militia, which I will do. This costs $50 and 5 manpower here. I think we gain manpower for having a place. I'm not sure. Gain 20 Solari per enemy units dying in allied territory. Oh, it's like a little... So these have a little bonus to them. But what we have to do is we have to build a building. We have economy, military, and statecraft, and we have room for 2 buildings with the ability to expand the slot by spending 100 plascrete to get a 3rd slot. I am going to be building a refinery, which costs us, you can see, it's kind of small. I apologize if you can't see it, but I will read it off to you. It costs us 500 plascrete. I think that's how much we started with. It also costs us 4 power cells and 4 days is how long it'll take. And then it costs $4 for, what is this, Solari, and 14 plascrete per day. Other buildings here, we have the spice silos to increase spice production in an area. We have the plascrete factory to give us plascrete per day, but it also costs plascrete. The maintenance center, which lowers the upkeep in the area. And in its neighbors. Wow, that's pretty good. The wind trap to generate more water, which you need to take more villages, and then the fuel cell factory to make more fuel cells. That's the economy stuff. Oh yeah, and then like a processing plant for more Solari. Requires structured warehouses and rare elements or special region. Okay, so these have special things to them. Requires a water sellers contract and special region. Oh, but it gives you 50 water. The wind trap gives 3 per wind strength, which you can see on the bottom left here is 4. Okay. Hopefully this is all making sense. Again, it's just going to kind of be, I have to info dump to you a bunch of information. I made this ornithopter and then forgot about it. But next to our numbers up here, you can see daily income. I imagine this is all pretty standard, but again, I have not really played many 4X games, so I am not a great expert in the area. I'm gonna go liberate this area. Oh, I should also train militia up. That's right. Because what can happen is... Oh, and we have to start development research. It's so much. It's so much that happens. So, one idea at a time. What can happen is there are hidden sietches around, and they will occasionally send out raiders to attack our village. What I want to do is I want to just make a basic militia for this. They will not be able to stop the raiders, but they can buy us enough time for our army to get there, is my feeling. Now let's look at the development tree. This is all the researches. It's not like a super fleshed out tree, but I imagine they will add more. Remember, again, early access, etc., etc. So each of these is, I think, corresponding to one of the, like, this is economy stuff, this is combat stuff, this is diplomacy stuff, I imagine, and then this is also, like, what is this? Oh, this is for villages, basically, it looks like. Like, it costs less to take a village, increase knowledge of the village, more influence per controlled special region, and militia power in special regions is the end one. Okay. Oh, and you can just, that's cool. You see this? If I know for sure I want to go to like modular parts here, I can just queue it up 3 ways. I can just take 3 steps. That's cool. So it takes around 10 days, takes around 8 days, takes around 5 days. So I think this would take a long time, but me personally, I'm going to start with economy stuff. I'm playing on easy, so I imagine that I can do things a little more greedily, because I'm not going to just get steamrolled by the AI, but I don't know. So we're going to take composite materials here, which is lower building construction costs. Buildings are constructed faster in villages, and villages repair faster. And that's all of that. And then when this is created, we will be able to start harvesting spice. When we see a worm, we do have to pull out, or else we will get smoked by said worm. And so I will say I don't know a whole lot about how long a run is in this game, because I have not completed one yet. I think one of my friends is a big fan of Dune, and he bought this game and has played through a run or two. And I think his runs are around 4 to 5 hours. What's this? A water cellar caravan. Okay, so we can use an infiltrator, we can use an agent, which I don't think we have access to yet. We have to keep an eye on the notification panel here, basically. And over 8 days, we can take money from them by extorting them, or we can increase our influence by giving them $500. And there's a lot of these around. The little question marks are not just... Also, I should confirm that I'm done with getting started. And then up next, we have to control a region with spice, which I have done so as well. I think that first step was just scouting it. And now we have to start our spice harvesting. Because as you know, as I'm sure you know, whoever controls the spice controls something or another. If you're a big Dune fan, I do not know how tightly this adheres to the lore of the game, but I think that this is roughly based on the first book. Sorry, the lore of the game, the lore of the books. I'm pretty sure that this is reasonably roughly based on the first book, because we are playing as Duke Leto Atreides, and it's also Vladimir Harkonnen. I can't really speak too far into the extended stuff because I have not read past book 1, but some people, if you read the Steam reviews, people seem to have a generally positive feeling of it. But again, I can't really tell you for sure. Here's our harvester. So this bad boy, he just goes out, he picks up spice in the area, and then it works naturally, I guess. I don't have to do a whole lot. However, there can eventually become a worm sighting in the area, and you have to cancel the deployment or it gets eaten. You can set it to auto recall, you'll get less spice for it, but it'll automatically come back when there is a worm sighting. So be aware of that if you just want to set it and forget it. Let's head out now and you can see how this supply drain works as well. I'm gonna go take this because I feel like why not, pretty much. So we have 100 supply. And I don't know what the drain rate is. It's like actually pretty fast. What the hell? Oh, is it because it's night, you think? Do you think it goes down faster at night? I wonder. Our spice harvesting is done. Maybe I shouldn't be out here. I'm sure it'll be fine. I wonder if it goes down in combat as well. I'm just gonna leave these guys to harvest. Also, I will say...
Ready. Awaiting command. As you command.
I am fighting. Me.
We are ready.
It does still go down. I wonder if I can actually take this in time or if my boys are gonna die out here. Also, you can speed up the game if you're good. I am taking it easy. We have more stuff to research. Composite materials is done. We can do lower authority cost to annex a village. Agents assigned on Chom infiltration produce more Solari. Agents assigned on Lansrod infiltration produce more influence. I haven't seen where the influence thing is. Like, I don't see that as an option here that I can look at. I'm gonna pause while I look at this. Or unlocks the military base building and increases Army's max supply by 50% and unlocks a new unit, the Heavy Weapons Squad. I'm going to keep going down the composite materials line, or the economy line. I'm going to go for modular parts and more assignable crew in harvesters. So if I want to here, I can go spend 50 of my manpower like this, and this will increase the spice generation of our harvester here.
At your service, sir.
Hey, you guys win this, I bet. I don't think they're gonna die. Do you think they're gonna die?
Waiting for your order.
There's another one. Like this, I feel like this ornithopter exploring over here, I'm not gonna really find anything because I'm never gonna make it through this deep desert. We did find these ruins. Study the local customs for an advance a random accessible development by 2 days, or gain hegemony. Okay, I'm gonna bring this ornithopter back a little bit. I'm gonna play this game with a lot of pausing, by the way, right now. So just be aware. There's a lot that happens, so... Oh, the fight's going a little weird because my boys are fighting 50-50. I see. You guys winning? Yeah, they got it. Now, if I take this village fast enough, I will probably not have my... Oh, yeah, okay, because I see. It refreshes while we're taking it. Gotcha. Go with the village? I pressed that button, right? Am I taking this? Oh, I did not press that button. My mistake. Alright. Now, I think I probably want to start generating some money. So you can see as I slide this up and down, I can change how much I stockpile for spice and how much I send off for money. So we have a tax coming in 11 days. It's going to cost 80 spice. I need to make sure that I have 80 in the stockpile when this happens. which I should if I turn it down to like I can just generate a lot of money. I don't know if Spice does anything else other than I have to pay it. I think it's just money generation. New village gained. You guys have anything cool? +1 manpower produced. Okay. That's cool. Let's see. So there's no... This area here does not seem to have much... like, there's no spice in the area. And there is no... Like, there's not high wind, so I don't really feel like I want to use it as a wind trap. If you make a fuel cell factory out of this, we get 6 fuel cells. Or I was thinking I could maybe look at doing something other than economy. I feel like, me personally, I'm a big economy gamer when I play games like this. I feel like start out, play as greedy as you can with your economy, and then go from there. Can I queue up actions, you think? I don't know if I can queue up actions. Like, can I send the ornithopters to go over here when they finish this, maybe with a shift click? I don't know. You can box select your units, or you can control click them. It did have control groups as well. Oh yeah, look at that. You can set them to 1. Cool. So I'm gonna add some militia, I suppose. I can afford it. And then let's figure out what I want to build. Surprisingly, it costs no money to build things. +4 manpower. I can set up a missile battery. That's kind of sick. Ooh, an airfield? Military units can embark or disembark shuttles within the building range. Also, this lets you fly around, basically, and move. Oh, I bet this is like you set up an airfield here, and then when you have a village all the way over here come under attack, you can load up in the shuttle and go Fortnite drop in. Alright. But I'm gonna go for... I've done a decent amount of thinking. I'm gonna go for the Plascrete factory. I don't want to go for that maintenance center right now because I don't know where I'm going to be expanding next. Okay, it does not look like I can queue up actions, by the way. No, it doesn't seem like it. That's fine, it's not a big deal. This deep desert? Mount Idaho. This is deep desert. This looks a little bit like it too, though, but I'd be surprised if there was deep desert right next to where we start out. You can see where the lines are. A little tiny area. Can I build something off of this? No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe at 2000 hegemony I can, but looks fine for now. I'd like to go find... here's another village. What's the wind strength here? I'm gonna have to... Strong network +1 intel production. Okay. I'm gonna bring my units home. Maybe grab another one just so I can kill stuff faster, but I don't feel like I need it right now. Ah. The Fremen have an ornithopter over here. Hello. Your ornithopters, they are not able to be shot down. Like, the enemies cannot target them, so you don't have to worry about that. What is this? Rare elements. Allows for the construction of a processing plant. Okay. Sounds cool. Let's go take that. Keep your eyes on the young harvester as well. Oh, I got an agent. Okay. What's this? Hello, Tariq. This agent produces 20% more of every resource but infiltration. So this is our... You're gonna watch me learn what this is, because I have no idea what this is. We have an agent, and we're gonna get a new one in 3 hours, 34 minutes, it looks like. So I can send him to infiltrate Harkonnen, the smugglers, or the Fremen, it looks like. So what is this? Is this like I click him? Okay, so I assign him where I want him. So I can send him out to infiltrate Arrakis. And this, okay, so this looks like it's just I send this guy out and he generates me resources based on where I send him. Or if I have enough intel, I can send them on missions. And we're going to generate agents as we go. I get you. So we can go to the Spacing Guild, we get more manpower, intel, and we get production on the Spacing Guild infiltration. So we can unlock infiltration levels on the Spacing Guild, of course. Agents assigned to the field of Arrakis allow you to interact with discoveries. Okay, so I think if I assign a guy to that, I could then hypothetically send him over to here, and I could get some expansion development, or I could send him like over to here, and I could extort the water cellar. Gotcha. Don't really want to extort that man, but you know what? It's whatever. And we can also go infiltrate our opponents. This guy gets 20% more of every resource but infiltration, so I don't want him to be... I guess all of them are going to give you infiltration resource, huh? Intel produce. So these are intel, and then it's just which faction do I want to be infiltrating here. We can increase our detection of sietches, which means we can eradicate the guys that'll be running raids on our villages eventually. We can do manpower and intel production up. We can do Solari and intel production, or we can do influence and intel. I'm gonna do Arrakis. That seems like the one to me. And then we'll get another guy soon. And remember, we have what we have. We have relation gains with sietches are increased, and we have yes, more units or stronger units. But there was a guy who gave us a bonus to our agents, so remember that as well as in the game.
We are ready. Let's go.
These guys are ranged. What the heck? Thankfully, they're in range of the freaking nuke cannon I got here. Trying to micro a little bit, but there's no real micromanagement in this game in the actual combat. This is not an RTS of any kind like that. What does this do? The Ornithopter. Oh, you can set these things to auto recon. Wait, that's huge. I didn't read what this did, actually. So you can just set the Ornithopters to automatically scout and do like a set it and forget it. That's cool. Not necessarily what you always want to do. Careful. Almost lost these Rangers. They gain experience as well. Can I see what their experience is? Sandworm detected? It was over here. So what I don't really know, it says to you that when there's a sandworm detected, you have to to cease all harvesting in the area. Or it just says to cease all harvesting. But I don't have any harvesting in this area. Do you think if there's a sandworm over here, it's going to come eat my man? I doubt it, but let's find out, basically, is what I feel.
Yes.
Okay, now I want to take this.
Yes, sir.
Can I not take it? Oh, it costs 5 water. I cannot take it. Okay. Well, we'll just stand there and say, hey, don't come back while I go build a water trap somewhere. Or sorry, a wind trap somewhere. I like that you get this little grid that you can build your stuff on. You can kind of make it aesthetic if you like. Kind of neat. I'm going to go ahead and speed up a little bit now. I'll just pause if I feel like there's something I need to do. But I feel like you have a good understanding of the mechanics. I have a decent understanding of the mechanics as well. I'd like to get to that first lands rod. Let's see what we got. 6 days. We can check our espionage tab as well. This looks like it's 2... Is this... No, this is hours. Okay. So the passing of time in this game is... I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. I don't know how fast time is going. Raid detected? What are you guys doing? Ranged raider. Where are you raiding? Where are they going? Oh, also I just left my units out in the desert because I didn't get to claim this area. And they died. Yep, that's my bad. Whoops. You know, I knew something bad was about to happen to me if I just let time pass fastly. Fastly? Quickly. Yeah, well, RIP. There's that supply mechanic. It wasn't something I thought I had to think about, but I forgot. That's fine. It's not a big deal. You guys, this is not a good raid. You should probably FF that. Terrible play. Gotta be honest with you. Yeah, going fast is gonna let things, because there's... I would like it if it was a little more pronounced, like, hey, your research finished. Things like that, but it's alright. Lower the maintenance center construction costs. I imagine maybe the idea is you're just supposed to put up a ton of these as you go out. +1 maximum assignable crew and harvesters, and unlocks the spice silos. I'm down for that. So, as is often the case with games like this, if you super speed, you're probably going to get steamrolled. Their militia came back too. So definitely take a look at the costs before you go flying in, is what you take away from that play. That's fine though. Construction complete. Nice.
At your service, sir.
Now we have 16 water. I actually want to go grab this one because I want to take this plus steel. I'm sorry, plascrete, because there's a little mineral thing which means you get bonus plascrete in the area.
Your service, sir.
Understood.
RIP to the soldiers I lost. Truly, there was nothing I could have done.
Awaiting orders.
I gotta be honest with you. It was just, you know, nothing I could have done. They were very dead. There was no way for me to save them, and you can't prove otherwise. I'll probably actually expand the Spice Village and maybe just fortify it a little bit against raids. I don't believe that there's any enemies over here. Other factions, I should say more accurately. I don't think there's anyone to our south because this is the edge of the map right around here. And we haven't seen a whole lot from the other factions right now. I think I'm going to end this video once the Landsrod happens in 1 day. Can I look at this? No, I cannot. I have... Oh, and this is where you can see your influence. I see. Ooh, I hear my alarm go off, but I don't actually know where my phone is. Hey, one sec. I'm gonna pause this and then go hunt down my phone. I'll be right back. Oh, hey, that worked. I was able to press space and unpause my recording. How cool. Uh, I got my phone. Don't worry about it. So we're gonna capture this. Occupied, yeah. Is this abandoned Fremen camp? It's like, so setting this Ornithopter to auto recon, definitely good because it's going to explore the map for me faster, but I do have to stop and like take inventory of what I'm looking at. Harkonnen. Only visible from close range. Okay. +1 intel production in enemy territory. Oh, hey, here's Harkonnen's territory. I think they're a little far away for me to come fuck around and find out, but you can just go to war with the other factions, definitely. There is also trading, real quick. I can pop in here and I can take a look at the trading menu. So you can set up treaties with them. So we can agree, we can make a research agreement, which means we'll get higher knowledge, but less authority production. Basically, you're trading away your ability, like you're trading away the gain of your authority for more resources. I don't really feel like I want to do this. You can also just trade resources. I can say, hey, have some of my intel and I'll take some of your money, things like that. But it's also, interestingly, it is a way for you to look at their resources, and you can say, hey, don't ever talk to me. Also, if you haven't seen Baron Harkonnen in this game, my god, he is a circle.
How is Arrakis treating you?
Let's get to business.
Who is this guy, by the way? Esmar Tuek? I don't actually know who this is. I know who Harkonnen is. I know who Liat Kynes is. I don't know who this guy is in terms of the game. Also, I know who Duke Leto Atreides is, of course. But, oh my god, they made that man a circle. But I'll probably wrap this up pretty soon. I think that you by now have a good feeling for the game. You understand roughly how it works. The more is gonna happen, I imagine. Oh no, get him out of there. So that's when you gotta pull your boy out. I see. Trade request. Oh hey, trade request. Speak of the devil. So when you pull up a trade request, you do have limited time to accept it, which I think is really weird. But so he wants half of my influence, and he's going to give me 3 intel, 76 spice. That's a lot of spice, man. And 66 plus screed. So with the lens rod coming up, I'm going to decline this. I'm sorry, brother, but I need my intel. Right. So here's the lens rod. This is these are going to be what's on the agenda, I guess is the word I want to say. We can do... So I don't know 100% how this works, but I think we all vote on one of these. So it increases the cost of manpower upkeep. Oh my god, they put labor rights in this game. Lower the cost of fat unit recruitment, or lower your influence production. So this is going to apply to everyone. The reason that you would want to do that is because, hey, I want my opponents to also gain stuff slower. Harum. 5% increased agent recruitment speed. I don't know what that means. But, let's go infiltrate the Harkonnens here. Oh, also you can do counterintelligence. 1% daily capture of an enemy agent in your assigned faction. 10% chance to capture an agent when an operation against you has been detected. 10% chance to detect an operation targeting you. Ah, so you can stop them from targeting you with infiltrations as well. Cool.
Agreed.
I'm gonna build up a little plasteel. I'm gonna keep calling it plasteel. It's actually called plascrete. I apologize, but I will. Also, the worm sign is probably gone, so I gotta send this guy back to work now. And can I assign more crew? I think I can. Yeah, we got 50 more. Looks good. Hey, notice the trade rate of spice has gone down, so I'm actually going to cut my sending of it. Hey, pardon me. Was this always here? Hey, what's that? I think that's a storm. I don't know what it does. I assume it's not good. I have to make an assumption here that it is bad, but you never know. Maybe it's good. Maybe that's a good thing for me. It does seem to me, roughly, each area has one village in it, and then it has like a few things you can interact with. Like I could go send my agent over here to get me military development. Sure. So I don't know. Oh, we can vote. Ah, I gotta come over here and vote. Okay. So let's see how this works. Weird that oh, it's up here. I see. Oh, spice field has been detected too. Let's take a look. So I want to see how this works. I want to explain this, and you're just going to watch me learn how this works, and then I am going to end the video. Because I think that you have a good feel for this now. I have a good feel for this now. This game is pretty fun, I will say. I'll give you my official thoughts at the end, though. So we can vote in support or against the lowering of influence. Oh, we can elect a faction for this military service thing. So we get to pick who we want to have get the unit recruitment cost reduction. I imagine that if you vote for someone else on this, you get to be like, hey, I voted for you. Like me more now. I'm going to vote for the Fremen. And we can vote in support or against labor rights. Well, first and foremost, of course I'm against labor rights. Don't be ridiculous. It looks like, along with influence, votes represent your political might. They can be allocated to vote on Landsrod resolutions. Influence, unlike votes, is lost when used. Okay. So I can spend up to... Okay, I get you. So I can spend up to 100 of my votes, and then I can spend more up to my influence rating. However, I'm spending my influence permanently, whereas my votes I get back. I get you. So I'm down to vote, like... I'm going to put 10 into the military service. I'm going to put it all into this influence production reduction. I'm going to lower the influence of the other factions here. What is this? This is minor houses have 400 votes. Okay, so it's kind of out of my hands here, I suppose. I don't know what these are at the top either. Allow rerolling one resolution during proposition phase. Oh, so I get to do these if I have the requirements. Need 2,000 influence spent in votes, and 20 resolutions have been accepted. 20? Holy moly, man. This game's gonna pop off a little bit. This is gonna be a long time, isn't it? I'm gonna let it go. I wanna let it resolve, and then we will end up. Yeah, game's pretty cool. I'm gonna go take this area while I'm here. I don't know if I'm gonna actually finish this on my own. The Imperial tax went up. What the hell? Got an achievement. What happened? Construction complete. Ah, yeah, we got the Plascrete. Cool. I should probably also set some militia. There's the Smuggler's Ornithopter. And what is it? Maintenance Center? Lowers their upkeep costs for 85. I imagine this pays for itself pretty quickly. And it's going to be here. It's going to hit here and here. Oh, I should actually put this in not here. You will get your money back. Yeah. I want to put it here in Sinwaz because I have adjacency in these two regions. I will add the building slot and I will put it here. Oh, it doesn't take time. Put a maintenance center here. Can you not? It looks like you can't build multiple wind traps in the area. Oh, I also looked at this. I forgot to mention this, but I did take a look, and it does not seem like you can upgrade the buildings themselves. Which, yeah, sure, I guess. Doesn't really matter to me either way. Just something I noticed. I forgot to mention that earlier, but it does not seem like the buildings themselves have upgrades to them. Rod Council vote. Yeah, I'm gonna dump my influence into it, actually. I'm gonna put it into... I'm gonna put it all... You know, I changed my mind. I'm putting all of my influence into stopping labor rights. House Atreides, more like House Bezos, am I right, fellas? I hate labor rights. I like the little doodads that fly back to your city. That was pretty cool. I don't know what they are, so I'm just gonna call them a doodad. Alright, give me this bitch. Occupied and intel production. Is it over yet? No, it's one day. Gotcha. So you can change it up until the day. Also maximum assignable crew in harvests. Plus 50% hegemony production from spice tax paid. That seems good. Maybe you want to put some time into researching or whatever. I don't know. I don't really care. Can I pay you more spice tax? Ooh, what's this? A traveling salesman is looking for new markets. There may be some mutual gain to be found. I gotta slow this down. Hold on, pause, please. Set up the merchant in a village. Build one of two new economy buildings. or pillage villages and sieges. Okay, so I can't do this because I'm what's his name? But so these are basically quests that pop up and you'll get rewards then for doing them. That's cool. Ansrad Council results. What happened? Oh, so this is temporary. I see. House Harkonnen. Oh, they put their votes in for themselves. Of course, that makes sense. Decline. There's a lot of support in favor of the labor unions, but some fucker put 240 votes towards declining it. I don't know who did that. What piece of shit would do something like that? I don't know. Alright, well, one day remaining before the next council. Oh, so those are gonna happen fast. I see. So those are like rapid fire. They're gonna be going nonstop. I get you. I get you. Where's the next spice field? I saw it. It said there was one discovered, but I don't remember where. I don't think I saw where. That's a big crater. I just want to see it. Oh, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. All right, I'm gonna end the video here. Actually, I will stop it up here. But yeah, the game time bottom right, by the way, 20 minutes it looks like. You can see that stuff. That's cool. Oh, there's even a seed. Wow. So if you wanted to play this one, you could take the seed. That's neat. So yeah. Overall, what do I think of this game? I think it's early access, is basically the statement I have to make about most of these games. And a lot of things can improve. However, for an early access release, I think that there's a pretty good amount of content here to sink your teeth into. It is a 4X game with, as much replayability as you want out of it. And I also think that when it gets multiplayer, if you want to play with friends, this game will be pretty fun to play with friends. So I'm going to be looking into doing that. And I think you, if you're interested, may want to as well. Lastly, I did not notice any bugs at all, and I have seen most people who reviewed this game on Steam say similar sentiments of, yeah, I played like 5 hours and I saw 0 bugs in my entire gameplay. That's pretty cool. So, that's a great step as well. If they focused all of their time on making sure that this game had no bugs on release, great idea, very smart. Also very cool. So yeah, overall I think this game is good. I think it's fun. I am probably going to play some of it on my own, and if Cranberry, Dusk, and Gabriel are interested, we may do a little something here on the YouTube for that as well when it gets multiplayer, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll let you know ahead of time, and also, of course, no guarantees, right? If any of them don't like the game, no reason to do it. But, yeah, I wanted to cover this one, so I have done so. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.